Hello, folks. We're on? No? Did you forget the music? I got my mic on. They can hear me. The people can hear me, Andy. Maybe. I didn't turn my volume down yet. Why am I in this view? More spiritual with my Bible. A frame job. Framed. What's going on, everybody? It is May 19th. Hope you're doing well. It's I'd say it's good to see you, but I can't see you. It's good to be seen, I suppose.
It's good to be
maybe.
seen. Yeah.
I don't know. It's good to know you're there.
Yeah.
Coming back from a week off, had a nice vacation. Hey, we got a new studio. A new studio? We got a new studio. Oh, yeah. New construction. No, what's cool is all the new construction is all done. Yeah. If you were here this last week, you might have had a chance to walk through, or the week before. We should have something on the TV behind us. On that one, like we'd look like the newscast over there. We had the weather. Yeah. Have the weather up there,
or a fireplace or something.
I briefly thought that crossed my mind, but then I stopped. You thought about it? I could have that. What we're recording. With a slight delay. Yeah. That'd be weird. That would be funny. Anyway, it's Andy. It's Greg. Yep. It's Mike. And we're here just to chit-chat a little bit about some random stuff and maybe some stuff that would be relevant and useful for your lives, and probably some stuff that has no bearing on your life whatsoever. Yeah. Nor ours, but we're going to talk about it. We'll do it all. We'll do anything. Just real quick, acknowledging something that is a bummer. It happened to me this last winter, and Mike had to deal with it today. And if you're an animal person, whether it's cats or dogs, I'm particularly not a cat person. No offense to anybody out there, but when it's time to say goodbye to an animal, it's always hard. I was watching this. It was on Instagram, one of those reels or whatever, and it was just this put together video about, when your dog's growing older. It was sort of a poem, but it was like, when they can't walk anymore, you'd be the one to lead them. When they can't see anymore, you'd be the one to show them, where to go, all this kind of stuff. It was really, I was getting emotional because it's a hard thing to deal with. Mm-hmm. You're the center of these animals' universe for their entire life. And then when it's time to say goodbye, it's tough. And I had to say goodbye to my German Shepherd in February that Brad and Timmery Pfeiffer gifted me 9 years ago. And Mike had to say goodbye to their pup today.
Yeah, we had to say goodbye to our little Penny. She was a Yorkshire poodle that we, through a set of circumstances, got from a friend that we had been helping for a number of years, and they had passed away, and they kind of willed their dog to us. So we've had her for about 3.5, 4 years, and she was 15 and a half, and had gone blind a couple years ago and deaf, and last 6 months she was in a diaper. But the last week or so, she can't keep any food down, and not doing anything, just kind of sleeping all day long, and it's tough. It was tough. I didn't grow up with pets, so I don't know if you guys did. Yeah. Did. My mom was a clean freak, an absolute clean freak, probably a little OCD. Did laundry every day. We never had dirty clothes, anything, right? So we were not gonna have a dog, and so you hear people talk about their dogs, and unless you've had an animal, dog, cat, whatever, you really can't relate. Yeah. And I was always like, what's the big deal? It's just an animal. Oh boy, was I dumb. Mm-hmm. They are. You're right. Family, man. They are right, Andy. Yeah. They become. You're the center of their universe, and they're just so They always act like they've never seen you before. You know,
Yeah,
you walk in
they're
and
always
they're
happy
just
to
so
see you.
happy to see you.
Yeah.
There's nobody in your life that's that way.
No.
I mean, I'm not married, but I would assume that.
No, that
No.
is quick.
Yeah. That ends by the time the marriage happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you again?
Oh man.
Yeah. So, is
Yeah,
there? All
that's
right. Here's a Is there a dog in heaven? Do we have dogs in heaven?
I think so.
I have no answer for that.
Come on, Andy.
What did bother me is when I was at the vet, and I love it, St. Michael Animal Hospital. They're great, but they had me go in a separate entrance, so I didn't have to go through the main waiting room.
Yeah.
And I just pulled up to this door. They opened it. I thought I was going to have to carry her in because she was that bad. And it's not easy. She's an 85-pound dog. And so, but she all of a sudden, it made things worse because all of a sudden she had like all this energy.
Yeah.
Right.
And she walked on in, and they had this separate room with a blanket on the ground. And they said they had to give her a sedative because she was a little wound up, which that was a bummer because the sedative was actually the moment that I like things were turned off because that made her do this weird tick where she was just constantly kind of moving her head back and forth. So if I can get away with not doing a sedative with my other one when that awful day has to happen, I'll probably do that. But there was this poem, or just like this sentiment. Didn't really rhyme, but it's like a poem thing about the Rainbow Bridge. That bothered me, and that actually it just annoyed me. And I get it. I get what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be comforting for people, and the dog crosses the Rainbow Bridge and goes into this, proverbial heaven. That they can run around with no pain and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but
You're not buying it. Is what you're saying.
Not that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't
So no dogs in heaven is what I hear you saying?
I don't know. All I
Jeez.
know is that little Rainbow Bridge poem kind of.
Well, that's lame. Yeah, I know. We had to put a dog down a few years ago. The vet sent us a card or something with that on it, the Rainbow Bridge card, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Like you're trying to make people feel better or something, but
Yeah, they sent me a card that was really nice. That
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
in the vet signed and everything. It had nothing to, no.
right. It's a hard thing.
Can you think of anything that would even at all, biblically, give us any indication?
Well, I mean, if
You sound like you have something in your mind.
I know,
No,
okay.
the only
It
thing
sounds- it
I'll
sounds
just
like
say,
a test.
No, I'll say here's my only thought. It would
If-
be if God wants to increase our joy in heaven, which I think He does.
Why wouldn't dogs be included?
Right. So if you're, and I'm not just saying your
Well,
dog, like
Would
your
cats
dog.
be there? Because that would not
No,
increase my
right.
joy.
We all know where
That's
cats
the
are going.
problem. Not everybody loves dogs.
That's
We all know where
Andy
cats are
at
going.
NRF. Dog.
See, please send an email to Andy at NRF because I won't get it.
I don't.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
did you ever read Randy Alcorn's book, The Heaven? I mean, it's pretty exhaustive, like as far as like the biblical text and like the verses he used and stuff. I mean, because I think we all have a weird, maybe incorrect view of heaven in many ways, just based off of what Hallmark has told us or what anything else. But
At best, we have an ignorant view. Of
right,
heaven,
yeah. And it's not like you could go to a chapter in the Bible and it's all clearly spelled out.
Right.
So that being said, it kind of goes with your view of what heaven will be or what you think it is, or even in some ways maybe some of your eschatology, eschatological view.
We won't ask you to spell it.
I'm not going to. I could probably spell it better than I can say it.
I couldn't.
But isn't if you think there's going to be a new heaven, a new earth, or be made perfect again as it was in Eden. I mean, the animals in Eden talked. The snake talked, and it wasn't like Eve was surprised to hear the snake talk. so it means they were probably used to serpent talking. I don't know,
Right.
but I mean, I think Alcorn's view in his book Heaven in a study, is that like animals will be there, and it's not something we need to be concerned with, and so more than dogs, I hope dogs are there, but how cool would it be to just be hanging out and there's a lion, and you don't have to worry about getting eaten by a lion. You can
Yeah.
just go hang out with a lion. Like, wouldn't all animals be there?
Well, I would think maybe
It's
not
part
snakes.
of God's creation.
Not snakes.
Not snakes and not
No,
cats.
yeah.
So, sorry, Sarah. I know. I'm not a cat person either. Mostly because I'm allergic to them, but also just because I'm
No
just
allergies in
not
heaven,
big.
though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that'd
true.
be amazing.
That will be amazing. This time of year, especially, man. We're all our whole house is suffering.
Just getting pounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think dogs are there.
Yeah.
Dogs
I'm with
seem
ya.
like
I think-
God's perfect creation.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think
Dog
they're
backwards
animals.
spells.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey.
There we go. I think there are animals in heaven. I don't necessarily think are like, I don't know if I don't think Penny's gonna be there per se.
You don't think you'll recognize her as your pet?
Pet, right? But I think
Yeah.
there will be animals in heaven.
Maybe. It's weird because that. By the way, if someone wants
Maybe somebody has studied this and can help us.
I'm sure they have.
There's a
Randy
lot.
Alcorn's Heaven
Yeah.
book. There's a lot in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's even so much info you can't get your brain around.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a study on it years ago. Jordan and I were in a young adult study that we did that, and it was, yeah, it's like there's so much. But even then, it's like, do you get a really clear picture of it?
Right.
It's weird. That's weird that you wouldn't notice. You wouldn't know that you're a pet. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I know. I see.
Yeah, Mike. Why
This has
wouldn't
got
you?
nowhere.
I'm still
So you
trying.
start with like this great hope and promise that your dog's going to be in heaven,
Yeah.
but then like you're not going to know your dog.
Yeah. Well, what are we gonna look like though? I mean, are we all gonna be
Right.
like 30? I mean, at what point of you will you look like?
Dude, I peaked way earlier than 30.
Are you gonna be
7.
7? Or are you gonna be 97?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Some have argued we'll all be like 33 because that's the age Jesus was. I've heard that argument.
Really? That's weird. Why did we just have a weird wipe thing? Did you see that?
Yeah.
The transition?
Yep.
Because you forgot to take a video off again?
No, I just.
You're trying to get us to move on. I get it. Okay, so
So do some news, Greg.
switching gears.
Why don't you run us into some news, and then Mike had
Run you
something
into
he wanted to chit
Let's
chat
be
about.
quick with this news. Big news, Andy.
Why do we got to be quick?
Because sometimes we spent an hour last time talking about news and events.
Was that bad?
Well, some might
Well, it's
say
because
it
we
was.
didn't have anything else to talk about.
We talked about a lot of things in the midst of it, but okay, one thing that's not really on our news and events page, but by the way, go to the news and events page because you get current, updated stuff with links that are appropriate if you need to register for things, all that. But one thing that is not on this page, but you need to be aware of, is the new church app that is available now. An email went out to congregation last night, and I posted something earlier on Facebook, but it's available now, Church Center app for Northridge Fellowship. So it's a work in progress. It's in the infancy stages, so it hasn't peaked yet, but there's a lot of cool things on there already, and we'll be working on. But our church, so Northridge is switching from a church management system called CCB, or we would refer to it as My NRF. We're switching over to something called Planning Center, which is so far looks like it's going to be awesome, but there will be a learning curve. Some things are different. And so, but along with that comes an app, and the Church Center app will be pretty cool, pretty user-friendly and relevant. It's like tailored to you. So it's tailored to like whatever groups you're in, Mike, whatever teams you're in, like you could see that stuff easily. You don't have to like search, my small group or search for different things that are relevant. Anything that you're a part of, it's easy to find. Stuff like that.
Where do you
So
get the app? Is it on the
go,
app stores?
Yep, App Store. If you're an Apple person, go to the App Store, or where do Android people go?
Google Play.
Google Play.
And what do you put
or
in
wherever
for
you get
search?
your apps, search Church Center
Church Center.
because it's like a parent app, and then it finds your church. So,
Oh.
so
You should do
look
it right
for
now.
Church Center. You want to do it, Mike? You
I
haven't
should do
done
that
it?
right now.
It's got a little teal green.
Pull out
looking,
your cell phone, and
Yeah,
if you
go to
have
where you
Apple,
get your app.
go to apps. If you have a Google
I
phone,
got to turn up my brightness so you could see.
Google Play.
But it'll look like this. It'll have a little white box with like the teal, greenish, bluish mixed church.
So go to search and search for Church Center.
That's CHURCH. There it is. The
This is
Church
it right
Center
here,
one.
get.
That's it. Get it. Let the phone see your face or whatever you need to do. Enter your
His
password.
phone
I don't
seems
know.
old.
I don't know if I know my password.
What version phone is that?
It's like
an
the
8.
3.
Because I got a 13 Pro.
It's newer
coming.
than my truck. I don't even know my.
You don't even know your password? Okay.
Really? Okay, this is bad.
This is bad.
All right.
My goodness.
What do we have? Pastor Doug got it quicker than
Oh, wow.
Stella.
Yeah,
That was
sorry.
just
All right, so later
totally
when you
dunked
look
on
up,
him.
when you go through your files at home and all your paper, your
I write all
notebook
my-
paper with all your passwords on it.
I write all my passwords on my
desk?
computer. I put them on a sticky note right on the computer.
Yep. So where that is, okay. Anyway, download the Church Center app, and then it'll ask to use your location. You want to do that because it'll find there's other churches in the area that use this setup. So look for Northridge Fellowship. Look for our logo on there, and I think you could type in Northridge Fellowship too. But either way, and then it'll ask for your phone number. Hit your phone number because your phone number should be synced up with your profile for the church management system, and it should find you. If you have a problem with that, email Diane. Diane Contratuck, by the way, in the office has done so much work getting this together and ready. And so Diane K at nrf.life. You could email her if you have a problem. You could also just email office at nrf.life, and someone will figure it out. But yeah, gonna be lots of cool stuff on the app. That's all coming up. This morning, Thursday, was Kids and Coffee. Another good
Kids
turnout.
and coffee.
Just young parents of young kids. It's mostly moms. Last week we had a dad come with young children, and just a time for parents to have some conversation, grab a cup of coffee, and hang out. And kids are playing, and there's a little activity. Aaron Ekstrand usually does like a story time or lead with some songs or something.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool for the littles to show up and do that.
You can just show up.
And then yeah, just
Doesn't
show
cost
up.
anything?
Nope, free. 9:30 to 11 every Thursday morning
Wow.
here
Pretty sweet.
in the church building.
Cool. Well, keep going. Actually, I'm going to get some. Is that coffee? Hot?
You gonna get coffee? Well, we're witnessing something. Yeah, that's actually coffee left from Kids and Coffee this morning.
Okay.
So
Do you normally not drink coffee?
No,
He's
no,
not a
no,
coffee
I
guy,
need
no.
a little.
Oh.
he's now
Is
it's
he-
now turning into adults and coffee.
So
There's nothing more adult than drinking coffee in the afternoon.
is he is is he reducing the Mountain Dew intake and substituting with
Push
coffee?
that thing up. There you go. Yeah,
Is that what it is?
reducing the old Mountain Dew and joining the adult
Wow.
mind.
It's nice to
mindset
see
here.
Andy growing up.
It
here,
is.
Isn't it?
He's grown up
Right
before our eyes. Right
yep.
before our eyes. So we got Kids and Coffee that happened. That was cool. We got, let's see, VBS registration is open now. You have to register through a specific link, Mike.
Yep.
You can't just show up to VBS, Mike.
No, that
you
wouldn't-
have to register.
That wouldn't be fair to the people running it.
It
Just to
would
show
not
up.
be fair to the people running it, nor would your kid have any info here when they show up. They'll be
Right.
like, hey, who are you and why are you here? So we know why you're here for VBS, but we need to get you registered. So you could register, go to our news and events page, see the monumental big monolith. Is that what this is called? A butte, maybe? Is that a butte? A monumental monolith. It's this big rock formation thing. It's the theme this year, celebrating God's greatness.
Any cost?
I think there is, right? Doesn't VBS cost money? It costs like $10 or $20 or $30 or $150,000. No, I forget.
That'd be quite the inflation increase.
Yeah.
150,000 from last year.
It's the what is it? What are they calling it? The Putin price hike? Is that what the people are calling it? Anyway,
Sure.
participant registration. Register.
there's a lot of times I don't know.
Someone in years past had donated, like made
Yeah.
donations.
That's
to
what I
make-
thought. Maybe in years past there was. Like,
Yeah, but I hadn't heard anything about that, so there might be a small cost.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if you kids want to go to VBS and you want them in VBS, and money really is a problem, then as with things in the past, Andy Schultz will pay for it. So no, if money really is an issue, please reach out and we can work something out. We want kids to go to VBS, and but I think there is a registration fee, but you do have to sign up and register.
It's gonna be amazing with all the new
Yes,
space.
with the new kid space and all that. It's going to be
Great.
sweet.
Yeah, it'd be like a whole new VBS.
Whole new VBS. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We
Softball.
got
How did the softball team do?
softball team is playing. I
they
don't know
win?
how they're doing. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask John Schrupp.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
All right.
Child care night.
He's not here right now. so-
This is cool. May 21st, child care night. If you have kids, elementary age and under, $5 a kid, you could drop them off at church from 5 to 8 p.m. for child care. And you could go out. You could get a date night if you want a date night. Sometimes it's nice for, you to just be able to, as a couple, go do shopping without kids. That's sometimes, sadly enough, is integrated into date night. You get to Target without kids begging for things and jumping off the cart and asking for things. Or you get to go to Sam's or Costco or whatever you need to do.
right.
And it's fun sometimes to just go kid-free. So drop them off.
We'll be doing that.
Courtney and the kids, are you helping with this?
I'm not. No.
Oh,
My kids
you got
are
an
helping.
elementary age kid and a kid that will help.
I think they might both
Yeah.
might be helping.
Okay.
And Cameron for sure is helping.
Yeah, they're both definitely capable of helping.
And I think we're going out. We're going out with maybe I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want us to say.
Maybe they don't want. They don't want it. They
Associated
don't want
with those
people to know.
We're
that-
going out with another couple from the church, which is exciting. So the point is, we're
Nice.
taking advantage of this.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
I still don't
But I
even
don't
know.
want
if
to out somebody who doesn't want to be associated with
No,
us. you
yeah.
know. We're going far away for dinner, so I don't know if that was
yeah, go ahead.
strategic.
That was
So-
odd. Like, hey, we'd love to go out with you guys, but can we go to the next county?
Yeah, 4 towns away. But
Yeah. Would you like to join us? Go out to dinner in Duluth? Oh man. Okay. So I don't even know if we are. I mean, we'd love to. Jordan and I haven't even talked about it since a couple weeks ago. We thought, yeah, it'd be fun, but I don't know. I think that's a Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
May 21st.
this
So
Saturday, we're whipping right through May.
that's this Saturday, the 21st. Wow. Holy moly.
Now, a week from Friday is Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I should know that.
Are you preaching?
No,
Oh.
but the kids are out of school after Friday. My kids next week's
Nice.
it. Yeah.
That should be state law. Labor
Should be.
Day, Memorial Day.
Yep. Well,
on.
that's what I think. Big news, June 5th. If you did a live video yesterday from the Land of Promise. If you missed that, you could go back after this and watch it. But the Land of Promise in St. Michael is a privately owned property that this family opens up to church events and use. And it's right on Lake Beebe. And it's the address is Buffalo, but it's right outside St. Michael. But anyway, that's where we are having our celebration picnic and baptism this year.
If you
on
want,
June
you can
5th.
go up to our Facebook. Did you just put in the life group? Your
What,
little live
the
video.
video?
yesterday?
No, it was on the page.
It was on our main page?
Yeah, it was on the main page.
Okay, so you can go to our Northridge
I could share
Facebook
it to the life
page,
group too.
And Greg did like a 7-minute Facebook Live
Yeah.
yesterday. They went out there, and so you get this little snapshot of what it looks like.
What a beautiful property.
Yeah.
Man, and what a cool thing this family does to just open that up to. They have a church that meets there. They're a part of like a church group that meets there on Sunday mornings. But
Yeah, we did our worship
Yeah.
event last fall out there. So I had the chance to go out there in last September.
yeah, I'm trying to do 3 things at once now. So I'm sharing this to the group.
So the service itself, it's a time to just celebrate and express gratitude both to God and to each other. Encourage one another with the things that you acknowledge and recognize He's done in your life. We'll be doing that with certain groups and individuals. And then we'll probably have an open mic time like we always have. And so would love if you want to share to come prepared with something and not just freestyle it. That way, The main reason for that is it ensures that we can try to get as many people to share as possible. And if you're succinct and focused, that'll make sure that there's enough time for other people to share. What Ben says is like no more than 1 page written out worth of double spaced. And so he said that usually takes just a couple minutes to, even if you want to just read it, because I know a lot of people aren't accustomed to speaking in public, and it'd just be easier to read it. That way you're not fumbling around. You're using your time best. But we'd love for you to come ready to share. There'll be an open mic time later in the service. After that, then we're going to make it's only like 18 minutes, right?
The drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Out to Land of Promise, and there'll be a picnic.
15 if you do it right.
There'll be a picnic, and then after that is the baptism. 2 things about that. We're going to provide hot dogs and hamburgers, chips, and beverages. So if you're A through, what was it, M? L?
It's usually A through L. I was on it. I go back.
A through
Is it on
L,
here?
you bring a side dish. M through Z, you bring a dessert. So
A through L. Bring a side.
Yeah.
No chips.
No chips
Chips
because
will be
we're
there.
going to have chips already. So A through L, side dish, whether it's cheesy mashed potatoes, I love those,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
but I should not eat it. A salad, which is what most of my diet is these days. Baked beans, whatever side dish you can think of.
Broccoli salad.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
pasta
Broccoli
salad,
salad's good. Pasta salad.
a kale salad.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no! You You said someone makes a good one. Who was
Yes,
it?
Crystal.
Oh, Crystal.
Searstead
Searstead,
makes
yeah.
an amazing. All of the salads she makes for small group are amazing.
I've never had anything kale good. That's good, really.
You would probably.
I don't hate vegetables or anything.
I don't like
tastes-
kale either, but this
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was kale until I went back for a second bowl,
Oh, that's good.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What is this?" She's just like, "It's kale." I'm like, "God, you shouldn't have told me."
Yeah.
that."
Then you got upset, right?
No, I grabbed another bowlful because it
All
was
right.
that good. And then for the baptism, we already have a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't matter what our number is, but we would love for you to think about being baptized if you have not. If you've given your life to Jesus and you have not been baptized, I want to encourage you to be baptized this June.
Yeah.
And let us know if you want to know more about it, because you just don't know what it is or what it symbolizes. Then come talk to us. Let us know, and we would love to have a conversation about it. But this is a really cool opportunity for you to declare to the world your faith in Christ, your followership of Jesus, and your love for Him. And we want to celebrate as a church together with you as a way to encourage you and to help you step into the next thing that God has for you. And so come talk to us, stop by the office, or just email one of us. You can go to our contact section on our website and find somebody you feel comfortable talking to, whether it's Ben, Greg, myself. You can talk to Mike. I know he talked to you. Catch us on the weekends, whatever. Let's make this as simple for you as possible. One of the cool things about being at BB Lake is it's not a fast-moving river.
Yeah. We don't have to position Pastor Dan
Right, we don't have to
strategically.
have life-saving implements around.
Ropes and
Yes,
things.
and so the water is going to be calm. It's still probably going to be on the cold side because ice wasn't out that much long ago.
No, man, it's gonna be perfect temperature, Andy. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm probably
It's
going to wear
awesome.
a wetsuit.
It's gonna be. Oh my goodness! Don't wear a
Just
wetsuit.
kidding.
Actually, please wear a wetsuit. That'd be pretty funny. That'd be great. If you just come like snorkeling up from
I
down.
have like one of those quarter-size wetsuits that are like shorts.
It's not gonna be that cold.
It might be.
Nah.
But I have the privilege of baptizing somebody.
Yeah.
So
Are you? Who's doing the? You're doing baptisms.
I'm doing
And then-
A1. I don't know.
Are you
I
doing?
don't know.
Nobody else has asked me. Like,
If someone asks like a specific person,
right.
Of course we will.
We'll
but-
accommodate them. So
Fun.
let us know. Get in touch with us. Let's
Yep.
make this easy for you as possible. And it's going to be an awesome day. The weather's going to be great. I've already ordered it.
Yep.
Been praying
Were you
about it.
nervous to get baptized?
No. Well, yes, because I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
And it was at a Southern Baptist church, so it was like
Oh.
way up there.
Yeah.
In this little window
Wait a minute.
opening, and they had this plexiglass window that you could see the water.
Yeah.
And they had a microphone. You had to talk and tell everybody, the whole
Yeah.
church. And this is like 500-person church.
Yeah.
Bell Shoals Baptist Church in Tampa, Florida. And wearing her white robe. And
Yeah.
I didn't know you. Went to
Dan and
Southern
Linda
Baptist.
Adler saying, "I just seen Jesus" afterwards. It was really,
Who said that?
you know,
You said that after?
no,
Oh,
Dan,
okay.
not Dan, Mike Adler, Dan Adler's brother.
Yeah.
He lived. He was the music director at this church that we went to in Florida when I was 9 years old. Crazy.
Dan Adler.
Dan Adler from Open Door, Heart of the City.
Yeah.
Yep. His brother, who is, it's funny because Dan's 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Mike was like 5'6".
Huh.
He's like my height, shorter than me.
Yeah. Dan lives right here in Osseo.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why don't you give his address out?
Well,
Yeah.
he probably
be
wouldn't
all right.
mind. I don't- if you ever met Dad, he's about as laid back as they come.
Right. Yeah.
In Austin.
They're actually going to be playing their Heart of the City band over at church at Sego Church.
Really?
I don't know when it is. You could probably go to their Heart of the City
Yeah.
Facebook page. and
Oh,
find
there's
out.
like a
They're doing like a parking lot concert.
there's like an event
Outreach thing.
thing every
Yeah.
Someone just mentioned that yesterday.
So anyway, baptism and
Sweet.
9 years old, nervous. So yeah.
Yeah.
Southern
you nervous?
Baptist. I didn't know.
Southern
I didn't
Baptist.
know
Yep.
that. Hey.
They had this
Amen,
huge
brother.
choir. They had this huge choir for Christmas. They built these gigantic platform trees. They called them the living Christmas trees, and the choir would stand on these platforms in the tree, and they would tear up, as you got to the top,
Yeah.
like the soloists were at the top. Linda, she was like at the top
Okay.
of the tree.
Wow.
And put on these long Christmas concerts. I say long because they'd have the kids come in for a couple bits, and I remember sitting on the stage on the ground, waiting for this
Yeah.
thing to get over. And but I was like 8
Yeah.
years old. So
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
I don't remember being nervous. No. I don't think I was nervous. I don't know.
It can be
I don't-
nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I know. I get it when people. It seems weird, right? Like, why would you be nervous about just walking in and someone dunking you? But
Everyone's staring at
right?
you.
Yeah, I know. It's more
know.
the public
Usually you have
display
to.
part of it.
Yeah. Usually
Well,
you say a
and-
few words, right?
Yeah.
And because up until that point, maybe you've been dunked underwater backwards.
right.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
it's not
have.
a natural thing,
No,
right? Yeah.
it's- yeah.
Here's the trick: cross your arms,
Yeah.
and grab one with
Grab your nose. Yeah.
one hand with your nose. So
Yep.
we have a great place to grab onto to help, not just push you down. Like Brack seems to like slam
Yeah.
dunk you, and he'll go bam,
Yeah.
But this way we have somewhere on the front that we're not gonna accidentally get touchy feely. But and then that way we can bring you up. And then you can hold your nose, because if you're going to go backwards, water's going to.
There are some people though that I felt like I needed to hold under for a little bit longer until they stop kicking.
Like any
and
of
then-
those teenagers.
Yeah.
Deeper the sin, the deeper the
Right.
baptism.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta hit the floor
Right.
of the
Yeah.
Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull them up somewhere and downstream, but
In Anoka.
yeah. Yeah.
That
No,
bridge.
that's not true at all, Andy. Why would you say that?
He started.
Church camp out,
Yep.
camping trip, August 18th to 21 at Baker Park. What'd you call it a couple weeks ago when Baker National Park? Is that
Well, it's Baker
Baker
National
National.
Golf Course.
It's a great
Yeah.
golf course. Andy and
Yeah.
I set some course records there recently.
Yeah.
So
God.
look for
I
our
bet.
plaque. Look for our plaque.
I think I'm done. I think I'm going to retire
nobody
from
likes
golf.
A quitter.
No, I'm retiring.
No.
I see.
Join the senior tour.
I
then.
don't mind. I don't mind golfing. It's just that I lose interest. Like I lost interest about halfway through the round.
Well, that might have been who you were playing with, though.
Well, partly because you guys were in your own cart, kind of scooting around, and I'm
Yeah,
trailing
sorry
behind you
about
like all
that.
by myself. No, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
golf?
It's hard when you have three. I tried to get Greg to come, but he didn't want to.
You asked him.
I don't know. Did I ask you?
No.
I asked so many people, and they said no. And so I just, after a while, you get tired of rejection,
I've golfed a few times. I don't know. It's not very challenging, but
Okay.
the ball just sits there,
what's
right?
the
Kim
the North?
Jong-il?
Yeah, he got like
have you ever heard this story?
14 hole in
Oh
ones,
man,
15 hole
North
in
Korea,
ones.
for all their faults,
Hilarious.
the best PR department ever. They like,
He said the first time he went golfing,
yeah,
he
he played the
broke the
first
world
time
record.
ever playing golf.
What,
And he played
14 or
18 rounds,
15
had
hole-in-ones?
14 holes in one. And like, yeah, this ridiculous, just ridiculous statement. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, it's good to have confidence, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Baker.
Baker Park.
Baker Park. You know, though,
Campground.
all joking
camping.
aside, that's a beautiful area.
Oh, it is.
just gorgeous
Wonderful. We used
over
to
there.
live there, right around the corner.
you
In Maple
really?
Plain, yeah, right
Just
around the corner.
gorgeous
Yep.
over there.
We used to live right around the corner. Yeah, Baker Park's awesome.
Yep.
Lake Independence, we'll have baptism there too.
Yep.
So if you miss out on June,
If you can't do it in June,
yeah, we'll have
on
baptism
June
in the lake.
5th, you can do Baker
Water
Independence.
might be warm by then, by
It'll
mid-August.
Be warm. Yeah.
There's a camp out though. If you want to camp out for the weekend,
There's,
it's $110 for the site.
but you can share that with other
But
people.
you can share that with other people, so you could split the cost. Maximum of 8 people for that, and that's not just like rules we're making up. We're following the campground guidelines there, but it seems to be a good time for those who do that. There's a lot of just interaction with Northridge folks that are there, and a lot of fun and
Bike ride.
bike
There's a
ride.
nice trail around there.
Sweet new playground
People
for kids.
bring their boats.
Yeah.
You can go out and
You can
do
go
some
out,
water
you can
sports or
boat,
fishing.
You can fish. You can fish off the dock there. You can pick up a bunch of dead fish on the shore if you want.
That
Is it
is
a shore?
that
Is
is
what
an
you call it?
option.
A lake? It's not the coastline.
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore. There you go.
coastline.
It's funny when grew up in Southern California. Whenever friends or I meet people from the Midwest, they would call it the beach. They would call it the shore.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's interesting. I've never called it the shore. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
but they would say like, hey, we're gonna go down to the shore this weekend.
Well, is it really? I mean, would you call it the beach?
Yeah.
Well, you would.
Yeah.
But would we? I mean,
No.
Yeah, you can still
Apparently.
beach at like a park.
I know, but when
The
you think
beach
of-
is
when you think of a
specifically the area
beach-
where kids could play here. That's what I've noticed. Like it's the
Right.
designated spot where like kids could play in the sand, and there's the roped off area where they could swim. That's the beach,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Beach access, it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think of beach. I think more of like
Hawaii.
Cancun or Hawaii. Yeah.
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 Los
not a
Angeles. You
beach.
don't think of Los Angeles, L.A. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think of California, obviously, but
Minnesota has more coastline than California. Do you know that?
Well,
If you count all the lakes.
Oh.
Serious.
okay.
Not joking.
It's easy to get these two states confused.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I've lived in both of them. They're very similar.
Very similar.
I actually had to stand in line the other day at Costco. I was not happy. That's the best thing about Minnesota. There's no lines anywhere. Like whenever you think something's crowded, you're like, I just have to go home, back, visit and walk into Costco or Sam's Club in Southern California, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there's nothing crowded in Minnesota ever.
really? I heard that Costco in Maple Grove is always busy.
Yeah, I mean that's about the busiest place that I have been in Minnesota. And like usually you have to stand behind 2 or 3 people and check out. But the town we're from, the Costco there, I mean the lines will go up like into the shopping
back of
area.
the store?
Like seriously, like
Yeah,
in where all
right.
the pallets, those sections with all the pallets,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
aisles, like it'll be up in there. Like you're trying to shop and you're having to weave through people who are in line. It's crazy.
Is that worth it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, but yeah, Maple Grove Costco is about the only place I've ever been where
State
it's
Fair? Been to State Fair here?
Well, yeah, but that's
That's
kind of
different?
different. That's like a
Okay.
big event. I mean, yeah,
You're talking retail. You're talking.
Yeah, just
average-
going
average-
somewhere.
To
Yeah.
Canes in Maple Grove.
yeah. That's another good one. You know what's weird? Where did I just pass another Canes?
Krispy Kreme, like 15 years
Where's
ago.
another Canes around here? I just passed one the other day.
I don't know. The only one I know of is in Maple Grove. I'm sure there's more.
Do you like Canes?
I like Chick-fil-A better.
Yeah,
Canes,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Canes is good. I just don't like why the bread? That's weird. That big gold piece
The
of
Texas
bread
toast?
Texas
after.
toast? Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
it just seems so
More
heavy
carbs.
after eating chicken.
Do you like Freddy's better?
Coon
like
Rapids. There's one in Blaine. One in Coon Rapids.
Maybe. Man, where was I? Oh, it's in Brooklyn
it's
Park. I think it's a new one.
Want to grab
Yeah,
lunch
I'm
after
hungry
this?
too. Yeah, let's get lunch after. All
What
right, see you,
about,
everybody.
What's the
Ooh,
Popeye?
Mexican
what about
pizza.
Popeyes? What about-
Popeye's the best. I love Popeyes.
Jeez,
Yeah.
what?
Popeyes. Mexican pizza's back at Taco Bell. I want to go to Taco Bell.
Oh,
The Mexican pizza is back, baby.
Well, let's
I don't know
do
why
it.
they took it away.
do
I
it
heard
after
there's a
this.
Taco Bell in Brooklyn Park that has like pneumatic tubes and it like shoots.
Yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah.
Is
It's
that
by the
right?
Hy-V. I don't know if it's open yet, but it's
gonna, like, shoot the
drive
food
through.
down
You
to
drive
you.
through like the bottom area. Yeah, that's crazy, right? But Taco Bell shoots through pneumatic tubes, and then the food later shoots through your system.
All right, keep going. What's
Yeah.
next?
Cane's is in Brooklyn Park. It's on the north side of, like, up by the Chick-fil-A. That's where I saw it the other night after Asher's game. You called me. I was in the parking lot.
610 and 169
Yeah.
out that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And there was only 1 or 2 cars in the Cane's drive-thru. I was like, you could drive from Maple Grove to this Cane's
Before
and
you
get
could-
through the drive-thru, get your food, and come back before you could get through the line in Maple Grove.
There we go.
So anyway, church camp out info on the website. Sign up. You do have to pre-register. There's a limited amount of sites available. So if that's something you want to do, we only have 20 sites reserved. And you might think, they got 20 sites, but those usually do fill up. It's usually a good turnout of Northridge folks that go out for that. So I haven't been able to do it the last couple of years because of COVID. So that'll be fun. And then that Saturday during the camp out, now traditionally we would do like a Saturday evening kind of little service and the baptism. But we don't have Saturday evening service here on site anymore. So times may change. We'll see what Andy decides
Yeah.
when he's
Waiting-
done
waiting for-
texting folks about
Waiting
Canes.
for Andy to make a decision on that.
Last thing I suppose nothing. We better talk about is the annual meeting, June 12th.
Yep.
If
The
you
week
are-
after Celebration Sunday.
Yep. If you are, anyone could attend, and this immediately follows the second service, June 12th, so at noon. There's lunch provided. Anyone can attend. Members can vote. We don't have any big votes this year, no overseer votes or anything.
No, it's just the budget.
You vote for the budget, and you get a good kind of vision of what's, or kind of celebrate some of the big things of the year past and a vision of.
And we're not doing electronic
what's happening.
voting.
No
why? Do
online
you know why?
voting. Turned out it was kind of complicated, and then the timing to make sure, because members have to vote, so like they would have to email or something, and then Tammy have verify membership, give them the ballot, and then try to get that in a certain amount of time. And it turned out that like people here, it's like when you vote, you want to know the results for something like that at church meeting, and the bigger reason is because we're only voting for budget, and that's not a ballot vote. It's just a yay and nay. So
okay.
it's like
Yep.
if there's a delay online,
Sure.
it's hard. Like, I'm a yay. Well, we've already moved on at that point. So
Yeah, probably more importantly that I'm a nay.
Yeah.
right, yeah,
So if you care to voice an opinion and want to vote,
Yeah.
Make sure you're here. There's a lunch.
there's lunch. Yeah,
There's childcare.
there's childcare.
And honestly, if you've never been here during,
If you think, church business, man,
right,
it's
these
probably
are
the best
actually
church business
pretty cool.
ever.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're quick. They're informative.
Yeah.
The overseers and Ben and Terry probably will each have a chance to share. They'll give you a little snapshot of last year and then talk about this coming year. And then we vote and then we go home.
There we go.
Yep. I mean, obviously they'll field some, they'll have a Q&A time, but it's fun. It's energetic because it's more about what God did and what what we think he wants to do this coming year and less about, all the politics of it all.
Breaking news.
Breaking
Are you done with that boring meeting stuff?
June 12th at 12 o'clock following the 10:30 service annual meeting. Breaking news, Greg.
Tammy said she added the parade to the news and events
Okay.
page. So
Breaking
the parade,
news.
Rockin' Rogers.
Rockin'
Parade.
Rogers.
Rocky
Where is it?
Rogers.
Hey, there it is. Look at that.
Never been to Rockin' Rogers.
What? Rockin' Rogers parade. Again, something we haven't done in 2 years because COVID, it's been canceled the last 2 years. Rockin' Rogers parade, June 18th. The parade lineup starts in our parking lot in our property. We have the church building open for all the community and anyone who's involved with the parade. They could come in. 1 year in particular, several years ago, was really hot outside. And so lots of people were inside because we got the air going. We got nicer restrooms than the porta potties. We got water available for people to fill their bottles, and we got coffee, of course, and just hang out. So for Northridgers, if you're not part of the parade or not viewing the parade, we always love having people who are here in the building just as hosts, hosting the community and that. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The parade floats. Everyone lines up, starts in our parking lot. All the school bands line up across the street in the school parking lot. And so if you want to watch the parade, this is kind of a good spot too, because you could just get a spot right in front on the lawn, out on the street, right in front of the church, or across the street at the school, and see the beginning of it. And then you have access to the restrooms here too if you want. So, but Rockin' Rogers Parade, lots of fun, June 18th. The actual festivities of Rockin' Rogers all weekend, they got the little carnival thing down there, which I can lie, my kids always want to go, and I'm always a little sketched out by the town carnival. It's like those things could go at any time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking around, seeing the people that put these things together and the quality control, but no one's died yet. So hey, jump on the dragon swing and have fun. Fried food,
Yeah.
lots of funnel cake.
Fireworks.
I don't think they do fireworks here.
Really?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Thought they were-
Neighboring towns do, and we
No
can hear
fireworks.
them and see them. No, but what's cool is Hairball, the band.
Oh,
And I could hear it clear from my living room because I lived close to the church here, and all this stuff happens down at the like by the fire station.
yeah.
That parking lot. That's where the concert is. They're really good, man. Hairball, if you're the fan of the rock and roll from the '80s, it's a really good cover band. And what's cool is they don't do like, they do one Journey song and then they'll do one, Motley Crue song. They do like 3 or 4 songs from a variety of bands, like in a row. I've never seen them in person, but apparently, like, they're in character and costume. It's a huge band, and they have different frontmen. And so, like, one guy will come up and do, like, they'll do Kiss, or they'll do Motley Crue or Journey, or cool stuff, fun songs.
Good.
But they're playing
A great Journey cover band, SFO.
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 Yeah.
Sometimes they play at the at the St. Michael Theater.
I've never been there. They have, like, some pretty good little bands.
SFO.
Okay.
It's the San Francisco
Yeah,
ticker
it's
for the
right, it's
airport.
the airport.
Because one of the guys was a pilot.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. That's a sketchy airport to fly in and out of. Have you ever flown into that?
I have,
You
and-
fly in over the water
Yeah.
in the bay, and you come in.
I've just been to LAX.
My
Yeah.
mom's calling me. Should I put her on the podcast?
Hey, whatever.
She's not
Well,
watching.
It
is
says
she?
mom. My mom says
Yeah.
mom on my phone too.
Mine
call
as
her.
well.
Really? What are the odds?
I haven't told my mom I'm on a podcast. You
No.
told your mom.
Yeah, she'll be
Yeah.
happy that you're here.
Yeah,
Mike.
my mom watches sporadically.
Yeah. That's probably about
Basically, we have 3 viewers, and it's all our moms.
And Sarah.
And my mom doesn't even watch or listen for me. She likes Mike's voice.
right. I love your mom. She's a good lady.
She's a nice lady. She,
Anything else, Greg?
I don't know, probably, but that's it. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
51 minutes of news and events. See, Andy?
Wow.
Well, no,
We talked about the dog.
51 minutes into the
I know.
podcast.
Church Center app. We talked about dogs. We talked about heaven.
That's true.
We talked about a lot of other nonsense.
It's probably
News
35
and
minutes
events.
worth
Yeah.
of news and stuff. So,
It's
We talked
important
about
stuff.
Taco Bell. We talked about
important.
Canes.
yeah, speaking of, I'd love to go get lunch, get some food after
I'm
this.
hungry, man.
So,
Popeyes, just for the record, Popeyes, the
Popeyes is
superior chicken
awesome.
place for me.
It is.
The chicken sandwich wars from a couple of
That's it?
years
It's
ago.
over?
The spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh.
Remember that?
just their breading.
They're spicy
the-
chicken
yeah, they're-
sandwiches.
Okay,
way
where's
better.
the closest Popeyes?
Brooklyn Park.
yeah,
It's
it's
far,
in
right?
Brooklyn
Okay.
Park, yeah.
But maybe
Brooklyn Park.
that's way too far. $5 gallon gas, can't afford it. Okay, but the KFC in Elk River,
Yeah,
it's
gone.
It's gone.
Maybe Popeyes is in there.
Maybe.
Really? You
Well, I
think?
don't know.
We could start the rumor.
I have no idea.
I've
I'm
heard
just
about
saying,
150 different things that are going into the Hardee's that's
Yeah.
been closed for 5
maybe.
years.
5 years, yeah. That's a really odd location.
It
Like in
is.
the middle of an intersection.
Yeah.
Should put a church there.
You call it Hardee's.
I always wanted to.
Tesla,
I
we're
thought
getting Tesla.
the old Applebee's, which is now, is that Mexican restaurant open yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Has anybody been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, is it good?
In the old Applebee's.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. It's a small chain. Oh, Eloro, it's like they have like 5 or 6 restaurants around
I thought
the
it'd be
cities.
cool to put
Been
a
there
church
before.
in that.
Yeah.
Have everybody
be
sit
cool.
around the edge, and they have kind of where the bar was, be the stage
Yeah.
center area.
Communion would be awesome there at that bar.
Right. You could pick. You want
Yeah.
a Merlot or you want
Yeah. What will you be having for communion this week?
excellent choice.
Yeah.
Went with the Pinot.
It's like thinking about
Breadsticks with the breadsticks.
churches, it not in your typical
Yeah.
design of here's like the worship center with the stage and the seating and the auditorium and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I heard several churches had inquired about that dealership building that sat vacant for
The
for
Land
years,
Rover
right?
one, yeah.
I mean, the whole time I've lived here, there's been nothing there except for
Halloween.
Spirit Halloween store.
Like 5
Yeah,
stores.
they move in everywhere. But Tesla finally. I
Tesla's
just
the
read an
one.
article the other day that building tripled in value in the last year just by putting the Tesla name on it.
Wow.
I guess the original owner of the building sold it. Whoever bought it was able to woo Tesla, and they recently resold it. And it
Tesla sold it.
no,
Oh,
the building
gotcha.
owner, whoever owned the property,
Yeah.
had it tripled in value or something. Isn't that crazy?
Well, speaking of Tesla,
I just got one.
yeah, right.
What? Let me drive it.
So we were talking about, freedom, Christian freedom.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes it's easier to talk about topics.
Who's we?
Well, I think at some point the three of us have been talking about it.
Yeah.
Didn't we? Well, you and I did for sure.
A little bit.
I don't know.
Well, we talk about that concept in other ways, but
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to talk about topics when they're like on the front burner of society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easier to like let things kind of die down and then you can address things. But one thing that popped up recently is Tesla, Elon Musk is buying Twitter, right? Or they put a bid in. And, the whole idea of freedom of speech and that's a whole thing. But was thinking about this idea of Christian freedom. What does that mean? And the Bible gives us a lot of different pointers in that. But 1 Corinthians chapter 9, man, really struck me this week, where Paul talks about, that he's free. He starts off in verse 1, am I not free? Am I not an apostle? Have I not seen Jesus our Lord? And then he kind of goes through, as he's talking to the church, what that freedom gives him, right? He has the right to eat and drink. He has the right to take a wife if he wants to, right? He has a right to make a living off of what he chooses to do, or a living off of the gospel. And he's kind of laying kind of these, I don't know, maybe hot topics of the day for them, right? Of things that he can do. But what struck me about all this, he kind of ends the argument with, he says, though I am free from all, I have made myself a servant to all, that I might win more of them. And then maybe the more famous part of this, to the Jew he became like a Jew, to the Gentile he became like a Gentile. And that I might, to the weak I became weak, to the strong I became strong, right? So that I can win some. And what struck me about all of that is I am convinced one of the main benefits, I guess, or one of the main things when we talk about freedom, like right up there at the top should be, we have the freedom now to serve people. That's what our Christian freedom, I think, starts with, is how can we serve people with our freedom? Like we don't have to be worried about guilt, or worried about like if we're doing something against God's will with our freedom, if we're doing it out of service to others. And maybe another passage that supports that is in Galatians 5, where Paul lays out the fruits of the Spirit. And at the end of that, he says, against such things there is no law. Like there's never a law against loving somebody.
Yeah.
There's never a law against being kind and being gentle. And I recognize, and I think we recognize, obviously, that the topic is bigger than that. You know, what do we do? But there's this weight of freedom, and I think what Paul is helping us see is, man, that is the freedom to serve people and love them, and that is not that's not what the world's going to tell you your freedom is, right? Your freedom is to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
you have the right to do whatever you want. And Paul's saying, yeah, but you have the right to serve anyone you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, two things he said. You know, everything is permissible, which you can do anything you want, but not everything is beneficial.
Yeah.
And then he also said in Galatians that you, brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but don't use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. And so, and there's this idea is like, you know, earlier in that same chapter of Galatians 5. It's for freedom that Christ has set us free.
Yes.
Which is weird because if on first read it's like, it seems like he just repeated himself. It's for freedom that Christ has set you free. Well, what else would it be for that he has set me free?
Yeah.
But we tend to look at freedom as we can do whatever we want.
Right.
But then he contrasts that and says, don't let yourself be burdened by the yoke of slavery. And slavery in our context would be sin, not literal. For most of us, it's not literal slavery.
Right.
But we make that choice as well to let ourselves be enslaved by sin. And, the analogies, like Irwin years ago, it was weird. I didn't actually have a chance to go to this, but my friends were out in California for a conference and they went to Mosaic. And they said it was this really kind of artsy, cool, postmodern type service. And everybody was given this key upon entering into the service. And there was this cage with a person in the cage. And everybody would go up and try to use the key to see if they could unlock it. And then the service started. Irwin preached. And then during the service, he showed the cage wasn't locked. But that's what we do, is we enslave ourselves to sin, even though the very price and key to get out of this slavery has already been taken care of. And yet we just choose to live in that.
Wow, that's good.
But when we're freed from that, when we sort of step into that liberation, because we're coming from this life of indulging the flesh, it's probably really natural to stay focused on ourselves. I was talking to one of the people that was on the retreat for the youth this last weekend, which I was really bummed that I couldn't go, especially after last night, being around the youth that were on the retreat, feeling, Greg, being youth, any youth ministry you've done in like those big events, you could still feel the buzz from big events like that. That was all last night. And talking to the youth and hearing their experience. And where was I going with that? One of the things that that was common that they found in getting response cards from these kids throughout the weekend is that they wanted to be more involved in the youth group and to contribute more and to serve more. And instead of being a consumer, being a contributor to what's going on in the youth ministry. And I think that's an important step, especially for young people, to make that shift from I'm here just for myself or I'm here because my parents make me come. Now I'm here, to making that shift and just now say I'm here and I want to plug in. I want to help make things that we do on a weekly basis better or whatever, that it would impact not just me, but my peers and the people that come to youth group. And so I think that's just such an important And so whatever God did on the retreat, for that to be one of the outcomes for a lot of kids, that was a consensus idea that kids individually responded to on a card, not just like raise your hand thing.
Yeah.
That they had the chance
awesome.
to respond individually, and so I think that the same thing, just for our church.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's easy to step into that like during the pandemic because you're sort of compelled to, like doing the grocery thing, the food, all the supplies, trying to serve one another, but just on a normal Tuesday, to your first impulse is to use your freedom to serve somebody else.
Absolutely. And
Sorry, I talked for a while.
No, that's good. Yeah, and I think that's the difference. I mean, there's a fair amount of buzz on what Twitter will be, if Elon buys it. It's like, well, here as Christians, here's our response. If you choose to use that platform, you have the freedom to love people on the platform, right? That's your freedom.
Yeah.
And to serve
They need
them.
it.
Right. And hopefully as Christians, our response will be different when it comes to freedom than the world's response to freedom. Because like Andy said, we quickly turn to what's in it for me.
Yeah. What can I get?
What can I get?
Yeah.
And that's just not what Scripture teaches as our primary use of freedom.
Not what can I get, what can I give?
Right.
It's more what can I give, or how can I love, how can I help, how can I serve?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, by all practical accounts, Paul, the Apostle Paul, was I guess in the business world, it'd be like a mover and a shaker, right? Like,
Yeah.
he'd be well qualified to be a CEO of some big, powerful company. And, well, I mean, he was at that, he's moving up as like amongst the Jewish authority.
Absolutely.
And so, but he met Jesus and had the encounter and changed his course. Didn't change his passion or his, the fire or who he was, his personality, but changed what his focus was. Yeah. And, went from persecuting Christians, becoming one, and becoming the most famous early Christian, I suppose, or one of them. And reminds us, like, our freedom is there. I mean, we have freedom to do anything, but you also have, freedom you're going to get consequences if you abuse your freedom. That's why, like, you're free to do anything, but it's not all beneficial.
Right.
It's like you might have consequences for your choices, and he's like, choose to love others and serve others. So he did that. That's our example in Scripture. So.
It could be cool to really focus just in your own individual life this summer.
Yeah.
And find small ways that you can take a little bit more of your freedom and time with, I don't know, some people say summer slows down for you. Some people say summer gets busier.
Yeah.
I think it's just busy all the time,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Right. It's just a different time.
There's
it's just
different
hotter. It's just it's just hotter. That's all.
Spend more time on the shore.
But maybe take a moment to readjust, your schedule and margin, create some more margin in your life to devote just a small ways that you can love and serve one another. Hey, Doug.
We got a special guest.
Yeah. Come and say hello.
Pastor Doug.
Men with microphones.
Hi, Doug. How you doing?
Hey, I'm having the time of my young little life. You guys look
That's
so
such a
good.
Doug
Whatever.
response.
Benjamin Button here, right? This guy, as he gets older,
Growing
looks younger.
Have you been fishing yet?
No.
What?
Wow.
I've been too busy having fun with people. But
You take people fishing.
well, I plan on it. But the fish are just getting bigger.
Yeah.
So when they're big enough, I'm going to be out there, and they're really gonna bite. I just got a really good feeling about this. I really do.
Is the ice off Vermilion yet?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just give up Doug's secret spot?
I don't know.
So
I'm going muskie
so-
hunting. I'm going muskie
you?
hunting, fishing. I'm
I'm
going
going
muskie
Hunting?
fishing.
You
I'm
throw a
gonna
stick of
Blake the
dynamite in
Woods
the water?
in a couple of weeks. Well, middle of June.
Will the ice be off there?
It's off.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much now. They're fishing. They're doing well.
Dude, my cousin who lives in the Denver area,
Yeah.
we're getting snow this weekend.
Wow.
Snow in the forecast this weekend. So you're talking about is the ice out. It might come back in the next couple weeks.
Yikes.
Oh, well, I've got to prepare for a meeting. Some of us have work to do,
Yeah? Who's that?
I'll check. I'll get back to you.
Tammy. He's in there.
Thanks, Doug. We'll see you. Yeah. If you have any thoughts, would love to hear it. If you have any fun, creative ways that maybe not do that. I don't want you to feel like you're boasting or bragging. We don't want that.
If you have
It's
good
okay to
views
share.
on whether or not animals are in heaven, please.
Animals besides cats.
Enlighten
Sarah
Mike.
Cook.
So yeah,
I like your idea though. I think you're onto something as far as being creative. And no one, and here's the thing too. When you try to serve somebody it might flop. But if it comes, maybe like I'm going to drop off this dinner for them or I'm going to whatever and it might not work. It might just not be their love language or something. You know what though? Again, that's freedom. We have freedom to fail too.
Yeah.
and I would encourage you, don't do it for somebody here at church. I mean, that's a nice gesture, but start with your neighborhood. Start with your next door neighbor or somebody across the street, somebody down the street, maybe somebody that you work with. Just listen to the Holy Spirit and see if He would direct and guide you to somebody that you can just serve and love on in a small, doesn't need to be this grandiose gesture or anything, but just in a small way. Maybe go mow their lawn or pick their weeds out of their garden or something like that. I don't know, something small.
Good idea.
Can I brag about someone else
Yes.
doing something?
Yes.
Even if it's my child?
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
He never reminded me to remind you, by the way, about the podcast. That was hilarious.
Evan failed.
I'll remind him if
forgot to remind me.
If I forget, unless I forget, I don't know. Yeah, what's
So
going on?
Riley, a few weeks ago, she's done this twice in her neighborhood because it just reminded me when you said do something for your neighbors. Like Riley's love language is definitely like writing little notes. She's always been writing since the time she could write. Before that, she would draw, like just draw little hearts or pictures, and just give them to me or to Jordan, mostly Jordan. She writes little like love notes, encouraging notes and stuff, and gives them to her. Well, a few weeks ago, she just wanted to make some for a couple of the neighbors, and she wrote one for our neighbor, or two or three of the ladies that she knows. It said like, to so and so, I love you, and I like, or you're nice, and I love you, or something like that. Love Riley, and just left it on their doorstep. And then a couple weeks ago, did it again with one of the neighbors, and just put, I like you, and you make me smile, and just left it on their doorstep. And I gotta imagine that made their day.
Absolutely.
It was cool. I was proud of that. I'm like, I don't think about writing people nice notes,
Yeah.
and like a literal or a physical note and leaving it on their doorstep. And
That's
yeah, no, it was pretty cool.
Cameron had a friend. Cameron turned 13 last week. She has a friend.
You have a teenager, dude.
I know. At this church. So she's
getting old.
good friends with a girl here at this church. And this girl did a whole book, created a book for Cameron about different things that they've done together, and then got quotes from people in the youth
wow.
group.
Cool.
And and illustrated it. It was like, Cameron was crying because
Sure.
her love language is words of affirmation,
Okay.
She's now a teenager and
yeah.
Right.
all the hormones.
Yeah,
so
she's
she's crying.
yeah. I'll let you know when she's not crying. No,
Then she got mad at you for.
we haven't been allowed to read it yet, and that's fine.
Yeah.
and that's fine. But
that's awesome.
Whoever, I don't want to embarrass the girl, so I'm not gonna say her name. But talk about that type of thing,
Yeah.
man.
It's so thoughtful.
We need to be more encouraging in this. And that is just something that it's like a superpower now.
Yeah,
Just being
really is.
encouraging to people. So
It's so easy, but it's like to do, like we forget,
yeah.
but it's such an easy thing to just encourage someone to be nice. And
Yep.
it is. It's like a superpower because we don't hear enough positive
No.
messages throughout the day. Stuff's so negative.
Yeah, you're so negative, Greg.
I know. I know.
Andy's hungry, so we should probably go.
I'm hangry, getting hangry.
Yeah, we'll end with this. I thought one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou is she said, at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. Don't remember how you made them feel.
But can you say it like she says it?
No,
She's got a great voice, man.
I can't. You should try.
I can't. You're
Okay.
the one saying the quote. She's awesome, man. What a great lady. Like,
yeah.
she has so many just amazing, just people with a gift of words, man. Clearly, I don't have. But some of her writing, yeah.
I'm good at the 30 words I know. So
Yeah.
very tight vocabulary.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, you can watch this after the fact on demand on Facebook or YouTube. Greg, a few months now back, set up a Spotify and Apple iTunes, so you can go and subscribe to those, so they'll get
And Google.
uploaded automatically. And what?
Google,
And Google?
iTunes, or whatever their store is. Yeah. The Google place.
Oh, Google Play.
Okay. I forget what it's called. Wherever
Yeah.
Google does their podcast.
Wherever you get
distribute
podcasts.
It's available.
Audible. No. That's,
Anchor is where
Anchor?
we. Ah, man.
Anyway, subscribe
It's through Google Podcasts.
to one of those
thing.
feeds, and you can listen to it. You don't have to look at us, which would be
Would that be a
more pleasant,
absolute
probably,
blessing to them?
or less non-pleasant, I guess. But yeah, hope to see you this weekend. We got services. Dan Munson's going to be preaching. We got 2 more weeks of this Make the Difference series, and then we got Celebration Weekend, annual meeting, and then we're starting a new series in June. That's really cool that Mike got to be part of, helping plan, and that's going to bring us to this summer. So, got any questions, hit us up, office@nrf.life, or grab us on the weekend. Hope to see you this weekend. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Adios.